Okay, what's up, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is well. As always, guys, if you are enjoying the channel, finding the content useful, please be sure to drop a like and, of course, subscribe to the channel. It really does help out. And, of course, make sure you do go and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future, because you will be notified. Of course, make sure you go check out the Discord channel for Elevating Traders, completely free to join. Discuss trading opportunities, discount opportunities as well. Connect with other traders. Of course, I'll be there as well, so you can chat to me as well. So make sure you go check it out if you are interested. But guys, welcome back to the stream. Good morning, William. Hope you're doing good. Took your USD twice. Okay. Okay, it happens. It happens, my man. It happens. Yeah, I mean, Euro USD was a little bit difficult yesterday. It was fluctuating a lot. Same with Pound USD as well. We'll take a look at them, but it was kind of up and down, up and down. So we didn't really see that follow through. We didn't really see that follow through yesterday. I mean, it kind of is just in that range as well today as well. Haven't broke out of that. I still do think we've got a good chance of moving higher with Euro, but based on how we're moving, less and less confident. I'm not really looking to trade it. I still prefer Pound for some longs, so that's where my focus is in terms of the dollar pairs. But Euro USD has a good chance of seeing some upside as well. Just the price action isn't as clean. So yeah, I'm not really liking it how it's moving. I think you said you were long from here yesterday, but yeah, it's been up and down, up and down. That resistance here is the big one. If that breaks, then yeah, Euro USD is looking good. We've probably got a nice trend on our hands, but otherwise we could continue in this range for a while, potentially even for the rest of the week. We've got some news this afternoon for dollar, 130 and 3. So I don't know, maybe that might cause some movement. But other than that, not looking too great. Good morning, Tashi. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Rick, good morning. Hope you're doing good. Darkshon, welcome to the stream. Hope you're good. Good morning. Okay, Pound CAD. Okay, you closed the trade. Bearish engulfing. Good signs reversal. Any thoughts? Okay, I'll touch on Pound CAD. In Kepler Trader. Hope you're well. Good morning. What's up, More? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good, my man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, I mean, with Pound CAD, we are in a big level of resistance. I do think we will see eventually a big rollover for this one. I've been touching upon this one on the higher time frames, and as we can see, we're trading in a really big area where on the monthly chart we're consistently firing wicks, consistently consistently rejecting this level. So I do expect to see some downside from here. How far? I'm not too sure. We could potentially break as well. Excuse me. Okay. Okay. That was bad. Okay, we're back. It always happens at the same time as well. Anyway, so yeah, Pound CAD at a strong level. So we could potentially retrace from here and potentially reverse. Not really seeing major signs of that. I understand we are seeing some rejection on the 4 hour or the hour. I'm not too sure which bearish engulfing you were talking about, but really nice rejection on the 4 hour at that high. So that for me is a big concern there for the buyers. As I said yesterday, if price could just clear that low, then I'll be starting interesting for some sells, because at that point that tells me, okay, we're breaking through some key lows, and that possibly means that price is about to reverse. So yeah, I mean, I think you were along from here somewhere. So yeah, seeing that rejection at the high makes a lot of sense. So I think closing that trade there made a lot of sense there. Of course, in hindsight, we can see that as well. But yeah, I would be looking at downside. But as I said yesterday, I want to see some lows being taken out first, just to tell me that, okay, price is not going to just do this, because we're still very much in an uptrend. But if you do see price come and take out that low, that for me is a big sell, big sign that price is likely to see more downside, even if it's just to come back to retest the high here. That's still worthwhile short opportunity. Every stream ever. My voice a bit croaky today. Yeah. It's yeah. To be fair, I say that a lot. To be fair. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for pound CAD again. I'm not really interested just yet, but I think we could be in for a big move to the downside. Market is very stretched. Yeah, not the most American name. Okay, so Pavinator, what is up? Happy Friday to you as well. Do you think Aussie dollar is now going for a reversal? I would expect it to. Again, I've been saying for the past like 2-3 days, I've been expecting to see some upside. Hopefully we can get some upside soon, but because the market has taken such a big fall, I do expect to see some retracement, some upside reversal. Not too sure about reversal if I'll use that word, but I think we can see some upside. I think we probably could see more downside still. And if we do see some upside, it probably is a pullback of this move because this is a humongous move down. So rightly so, probably going to go for a bit of retracement. Reversal, I don't think so, but something like this I can see happening. So the buys in the meantime makes sense, trying to take advantage of that move. But I think the shorts is where the money's still flowing. So true. You've been telling me that for the past like 2 weeks now, probably even longer. Let me go try the tea. FX Wolf, good morning. Hope you're well. What do I think of dollar yen? So yeah, I mean, the yen pairs are pushing up higher. We did come into a big level, especially for dollar yen, actually, especially for dollar yen. So where is this? 152-ish. I mean, maybe we didn't hit it on the dot. I don't think we did, but essentially the high here is where we came into roughly. And the dollar yen has reacted pretty nicely from that. So this is a pretty big level. This is the weekly chart. Pretty big level. We've come into an area. Possibly we could even see a continuation from there. I wouldn't be too surprised. There is a bit of a trend line here, but I don't think it's coming into where price is right now. So you're not quite there, but generally speaking, it's a pretty big level. And we are reacting from that area. So I do think dollar yen can see some upsides. I feel like if you're not really in the buys, then you kind of might have missed the opportunity. The next idea I'm looking at is some downside now, which is around this area here, 155, 500. If price can keep up this corrective behavior, I think maybe sometime next week, we could be seeing some sells and then a move down and trying to catch that next level high. We've got one over there, second over there, third over there, potentially a fourth, and then looking for continuation back to the low. So that's my thought process for dollar yen and for a lot of the yen pairs in general. But we did come into a really nice level of support, and I think simultaneously all the yen pairs have seen some nice upside. But I do think we'll put in a lower high soon and see another move down. And then we can see what price does when we get back there. But yeah, dollar yen, I do think a bit more upside is left. I mean, we could sell off from here, but just nothing really interests me for a sell there. I would like to see a bit more upside, especially how aggressively we reacted there too. So yeah, if we can see a bit more upside to 155, 500, I think some sales look good from up there. And again, that's roughly what I'm looking at on the full hour for a lot of the yen pairs. I just feel like flying. What, as in the dollar yen? Okay, you drink it twice a day. Wow. I thought it was only something you might drink when you've got a cold or something, or if you're ill. What's up, Pragasar? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are well. So yeah, I was in a goal position yesterday, but not for long. Price did stop me out really, really quickly. I enter the trade on this candle here. As you can see, with the next candle, price already went against me pretty heavily, and then the next candle after that took me out of the trade. My stop loss was underneath that low there. Yeah, I did like the trade. It was a really nice area. Really nice rejection there as well. 4H was throwing some wicks, so there was a lot of boxes ticked. But of course, it just didn't play out this time. It looked like price wants to go a little bit deeper before maybe price does see some upside. I'm still keen on that move there for gold. I'm still looking for buys. It's still in the bullish vicinity for me to be looking for some entries. So I'm going to keep a close eye on gold. But at the moment, we have seen a bit of upside. So for me to get into a trade, I need to see something like this. Another move back into the low, and then I'll look for some entries there. But effectively, I'm looking for kind of a big kind of bull flag pattern. So there's your first correction. There's your second, and I'm looking at a big move up, or we might do three, maybe something like this. And then we get the move, but I'm looking for a pullback of this move for price to push up. And again, doesn't that necessarily have to be back to the high? Are we trading stop losses? So if it goes back to the high, fantastic. If it doesn't, probably still walk away with a decent profit. But yeah, for gold, still looking at buy opportunities. As we do push lower, I'm more interested. As I said, at the moment, already pushed up a little bit. So for me to join the wave, I need price to come back down to support again. And then I'll see what I can do. Silver had a pretty big move down as well. Wait, no, did it? Well, it did have a big move down a couple of days ago, but not yesterday. Yesterday was kind of sideways. It did push down a little bit there, but didn't amount to much. But silver's still in an interesting area because I'm still looking for longs as we approach down here. But in the meantime, I think shorts look good. If we were to see a pullback into this area, I think that's still a nice place for a short. You can see a lovely impulse there, correction, another big impulse there. If price was to come back up to that level, I do think this would be a nice place for a short, and then maybe some longer term buys afterwards. But yeah, price action for silver on the daily chart isn't looking the best. This move here is very, very awkward for the buyers. You are looking pretty good there. I was expecting prices to push to the swing high. But after that move there, that's definitely thrown a span in the work. So for now, if we do pull back, have a nice corrective pullback, I think the shorts will look good. And we'll see how price reacts with this area. If we take out this low, then that really does change a lot for silver. If we see another big move down, then I'd actually be bearish. On silver, looking for more of the same. So yeah, we'll keep a very, very close eye on that. But for now, we're in bullish territory. So if you're interested in buys, it makes sense. But I would watch out for this area here because that still looks like a nice place for a short should we get back up there. And it's funny because I'm looking for a sell for silver, but I'm not really looking for gold. I mean, we could come up to these prices and sell off, but I'm not really interested in that move. I'm more interested with the buys for the time being. And then I can see what we can do later. But yeah, dollar's been a little bit awkward. We were kind of just dancing around yesterday. Price was bearish for a little bit, then was bullish, then was bearish again, then a little bit bullish. It's just struggling to make up its mind. This here is just a big consolidation here on the 4 hour. And it's trying to decide what it wants to do next. Again, I've still talked about this level up here as a place we could move to before we do see some downside. I still think that is a big, big possibility. In here, it's difficult to say. I mean, because of this retracement, it was very impulsive. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see it push up high because it's kind of like a big V-shaped reversal. And when we do see these V-shaped patterns, they normally do indicate more upside. I mean, oh yeah, more upside, but reversal. So I think there's a good chance we do see price break higher. But yeah, looking to trade that is difficult because I have no idea what price is doing in here. So yeah, I wouldn't try and go against that. But for pound, price looks clear to me. So looking for buys, again, similar to gold. If we can get another move down, I'll be looking for a buy. Osem, welcome to the stream. Pound Yen, Pound Seat Chef. Okay, we'll take a look. See. So yeah, with Pound Yen, again, another yen pair, we did see some upside for that one. Again, I'm still looking at this bullish move as a big correction of that move there. So although we've come into some nice support there, you can see we just about held on to it. I do think we'll probably see price push up a little bit, find the high and push back down. So that's kind of what I'm looking for across the board for the yen pairs. But at the moment, we're still kind of at support. So buys kind of make the most sense. In terms of entries, I feel like, again, if you're not already in the trade, the ship might have already sailed. Kind of want to be in down there. I know we're trading at support right now, but it's a bit of an awkward place. Placing a stop loss underneath here, you're kind of prone to getting faked out there, or just a random wick, especially with the news this afternoon as well. So I do expect pound yen to push up higher, but yeah, I would say if you're not really in the trade, it's difficult to get back in unless we come back and retest support. Then that's a different situation. But if not, I'm kind of looking for a correction higher. And then for a sell, and the area I'll probably keep an eye out for would be as price gets back to this level here on the daily chart. And that's kind of where I'll look for a high to form and a move back down. One up there, second, arguably a third, fourth, looking for a fifth. So that's kind of where I'm at with pound yen. And again, the price action I'm looking at is very similar, like CAD yen, pullback, continuation, maybe a retest of this low, something like that. New Zealand yen very similar as well. Euro yen very similar. Dollar yen similar. We spoke about that one as well. So I do think there's more downside to be had for the yen pairs. I'm not quite convinced we're about to reverse and push bullish. Sure, we might see some upside for a day or two, but I do think we'll put a high in somewhere. So as we continue higher up, I'm kind of getting ready for some sells. Okay, so Pound Seed Chef we'll take a look at next, and What's Up Mighty King, Euro Yen we'll take a look as well. So Pound Seed Chef. So yeah, Pound Seed Chef, lovely move to the downside this week. And again, pretty much looking for continuations of that. It's difficult because we haven't really broken major structure on the higher time frames, as if you compare it to like Aussie CHF, broken through some key lows. New Zealand CHF did that a while ago. Pound CHF is kind of like, what is price doing really? I mean, the way I'm interpreting is, okay, we pushed up, cleared out some highs here. It does look like price is struggling at the highs, so we could be forming another major lower high as we come into the high there. So I would expect to see a big move back down. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for Pound CHF. In terms of trading that, I think just keep it simple. No need to look for any crazy swings. I think if we can come back to prices up here, this is naturally going to be a nice place for a sell. But yeah, I'll be a bit weary with targets with this one, because as we do keep up these higher lows, I wonder if we're going to put another one and just push back up again. So targets become a little bit tricky, but in terms of an area to short from, this is definitely a nice level if we get back there, of course. But yeah, Pound CHF to me looks like a nice sell. Really nice momentum there, impulse, correction, impulse. There's a lot of bearish momentum currently in the market right now, so I'll be looking to continue that momentum. I mean, it is a bit of a big pullback, so there's a good chance we might not even get there, but I'm not seeing any other sufficient level which I would look to short from other than that area. So yeah. But to me, this looks like a nice sell if we get there. And of course, how we get there and how we react will be important, but generally speaking, that's kind of where I'm looking to short from. But in general, CHF is still very, very strong. Of course, it's seen some weakness today, but in general, we are very strong for the Swiss currency. So I do expect that to continue. Back to some major swing lows, Euro CHF there, CAD CHF, we've broken through that low, but looks like it could be coming to this low. Aussie CHF, some areas down here. New Zealand CHF has already hit a big low. So I do think pound CHF will eventually follow suit. Okay, Euro yen we'll take a look at next. Philip, what is up? Inverted and shoulder. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'll take a look at the DXY. Let me just go through Euro yen, but yeah, I think I know what you mean. Oh, that's the DXY. Let me get to Euro yen. Okay, so yeah, Euro yen, I'm looking at a bit more upside and then some shorts. I mean, we're coming into an area of interest right now, which is this low here, which we could sell from. In fact, I don't think that's the worst place to be looking for trade. It's not really we haven't really had a big pullback yet, so that's the only thing I don't like. But in terms of the level we're trading at, previously really strong support, nice rally. There's a good chance we come in here, act as resistance, and see some downside. So for Euro yen, naturally, this is a nice place for a short. I was lining up this level early in the week, but again, I'm not too sure we get there. So in terms of a good entry, if you can push a little bit higher, spike through the high there, maybe see a nice rejection afterwards, that could then give a nice little signal down the hourly or maybe 30-minute. And that could be a nice trade back to this area here, or if you're being a bit more aggressive, back to the swing low. That'll be up to you. But we are coming to a nice area for a short. We've seen a nice push up higher. Depends what price does. Like I said, the pullback isn't as big as I want it to be. So yeah, I don't think I'll take the trade there. I do prefer some others like pound yen and CAD yen, but it is at a nice level, so I would keep an eye out for the shorts. And if things go well, we could be swinging it back to the low. So that's kind of where I'm at with Euro yen. Let me know what you're looking for Euro yen as well. Okay, so yeah, we'll take a look at the DXY. So I know the inverse head and shoulder pattern is basically the left there. You got your head down there and the right shoulder there, and this is kind of your neckline. So I'm with you there. And I do think we can break higher. And I'm looking at this area here as a nice place price could break towards, potentially find the high and then sell off from. I'm still looking at a bigger move down for DXY. But since we've taken out some big lows and respect to them almost, I do think we can see a reaction to the upside. So that kind of fits the mold of the inverse head and shoulder, the V-shaped pattern, same kind of thing. Looking for a move to the upside. And as we approach areas like this will become very interesting for some shorts. So yeah, I do think there's a good chance DXY does break higher. What's up, Tony Gold? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. I do think there's a good chance we break higher. It's just, trading that is a little bit difficult because I have no idea what DXY is doing in there. It's kind of 50-50 which way we break. At least looking at the price action here, but because of that V-shaped pattern, I do think we can break higher. We might just consolidate, wait for some news, and then break higher. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at the DXY. So I do agree with that bias, and that will be the first area to start looking at. Maybe the high up there as well, but definitely this level here at 104.866. That will definitely be a very important area for the DXY. If I have a look at some, yeah, so USD CAD was very bullish. It came back into the high there finally. So it'll be interesting to see what we do next because there is some levels just above us, but we've had such a nice rally. So I do think we can see a bit of a dip in the market there for USD CAD. Aussie dollar, again, seeing some relief. I think today, yesterday/today, we're kind of seeing a bit of relief in the market for quite a few pairs. So quite a few currencies, Aussie seen some bit of a relief because it's been so weak for the past few days. So Aussie dollar pushing up, New Zealand dollar pushing up a little bit, pound Aussie, Euro Aussie seeing some downside there too. Yeah, so a little bit of relief there, a little bit of relief. Again, nothing crazy, nothing to tell us that, okay, the market is about to reverse, but definitely some much needed correction. Euro NZD a little bit there, not much though. Yen pairs have seen a bit of relief. CHF pairs a bit of relief as well. And again, all of this much needed. But yeah, personally, I'm just waiting for a lot of pullbacks really, because I think there is a lot more downside to where it came from. This week, we've seen price heavily fall. So naturally, we're going to see corrections of those moves. And when we start looking like we're going to put some highs in, put some tops in, that's when I'll start looking to pounce for some shorts. But at the moment, still very early doors. You know, we've only moved up for a few hours. I do really like CAD CHF as well, because there's a big chance we do come and take out that low. Because if I do go to the higher time frames, you can see all we've been doing for CAD CHF is falling to the downside. So there's a good chance we continue to fall and take out the low as well. So hopefully we can see some pullbacks beforehand and take some shorts. But yeah, today's Friday, so I'll be paying close attention to the weekly candles, seeing how they close. But CAD CHF, that is where I'm interested in. How is some dollar pairs looking? So yeah, pound USD a little bit bearish there, nothing crazy. Still trading above structure there, so that's the main takeaway I have for pound USD. In terms of euro a little bit bearish. I know we still do have some hours left for the weekly candle. I know we got news as well this afternoon, so maybe the weekly candles look a little bit different. I don't expect anything too crazy to happen, but it's not like we got NFP later. We've got PC and another one this afternoon, so it could move the market. I don't think anything crazy, but of course we'll see how the weekly candle does close. Euro USD, again, not a lot of information there apart from a holding into resistance. That might mean we take another dive next week before we might push up. Aussie dollar, of course, really big candle there this week, pushing down. Again, conditions haven't been great. You know, this is pretty much just a big range, to be honest. So it's been difficult on Aussie dollar. But that move there, I think there's a good chance we see a bit of a relief and then maybe a continuation. So maybe some nice upside and some shorts later on in the week. Use the CAD, strong move up. But again, all we're doing is coming back into resistance in the higher time frame. So doesn't really amount to much. We might see a bit more upside, but it's always going to be difficult for a swing because we're in some areas where we could really drop, as we can see previously, as we can see previously there as well. We could take another big dive. So long-term buys don't look good, even though we had a really nice close this week. New Zealand dollar, really strong close as well this week. It looks like it's only a matter of time before we hit this low, and probably a matter of time before we hit this low here as well. So, you know, what we could be seeing maybe is a bullish reaction next week, a high, and then a push down. And that high there could be what we're looking to trade. Dollar CHF trying to break through the low. I think this will be an important one to see how it does close, because yeah, we're still kind of trading in that area where we fired 2 wicks previously. So I wouldn't be surprised if we put another one there. Or if price was to continue pushing down and we close down here somewhere, then fantastic. We probably will see a lot more downside afterwards. But yeah, we'll see how we close in relation to that support. Yeah, silver's not looking good on the weekly chart, breaking that level there. Still think this is a nice place for a buy, but equally, that's a nice place for a sell. And gold, yeah, after we saw that big wick there to the upside last week, I was touching upon that in the weekly analysis, saying that we could probably see some downside now for next week, and we have done. But again, as we approach some areas down here, I do think we'll find some support. So maybe for next week, we continue that momentum, maybe leave another wick, and then we start to push up again. And DXY at Doji, so not a lot of information. apart from about holding to that support. So yeah, it's not looking good, I must say, for the XY. Because this area is a big level of indecision. Price is wicked in multiple times. Didn't see any continuation. Closes a small bullish candle there, and again this week another doji. Yeah, I think there's actually a good shout we do push up high from here, because you would expect us to break him through by now. So yeah, what's up, John? Welcome to the stream. Please take a look at Gold K. Oh, my microphone's glitching. Is anyone else experiencing glitchiness in the microphone? Let me know. Can't hear me clearly. What is going on? Let me check. Yeah, the microphone should be fine. It might be, yeah, okay. Yeah, it might be internet connection. It might be internet. Let me check. Internet looks okay. Has been better. Now is good. Issue, yeah, it probably will be the network. Yeah, it probably is the network. Oh, did not mean to do that. Yeah, let me know if it's if it continues to get worse. It's good now. Okay, hopefully it stays good. But yeah, I think it is the internet, but it seems to be okay now. I mean, worst case scenario, I need to plug myself to the router maybe. Okay, but yeah, let me keep me updated if it gets better or gets worse. Okay, so yeah, with DXY, as I said, respecting support pretty well. Doji again this week, not a good sign for the bears. I think next week we could probably see some upside. Let me invert the chart. Yeah, probably could see some downside next week. I mean upside. So yeah, I think there's a very good chance we do break higher. We do break high there. Again, it's just difficult because we're moving sideways in a big consolidation. So I don't really like how price is moving, but I would favor another push higher. We'll see what price does here because that could send us back down again. But I would expect us to break higher. So maybe for the time being, next day or two, we could probably see some dollar strength, which is awkward because I'm looking to long pound and dollar strength is not. I mean, on second hand, it's not the worst thing in the world. It might just mean we have a deeper correction than anticipated. I still do have, some areas further down which we could come and test. Wouldn't mind a retest of the high here. If we were to push down again, that could be a nice little trade. Or even if we were to push down to some of these areas here, I wouldn't mind that as well. Effectively, I'm looking for a correction of that move. So anywhere within that pullback, we've got the 50 there, 0.618 there. So I don't know, maybe dollar breaking high gets us to these areas, and then maybe we reinvestigate for some buys. But yeah, looking at the DXY, I would favor move higher. So that might mean pound falls, euro falls as well. Aussie dollar could fall there too, or keep falling, I should say. USD CAD might continue to rise. New Zealand dollar might continue to fall. UCHF might recover. I mean, like I said, it'll be interesting to see how the weekly candle closes. Silver might continue to fall, and gold might continue to fall as well. So yeah, because I'm looking for dollar weakness, but yeah, looking at the price action, how things are closing for the week, not looking too brilliant there. Casperio, thoughts on Euro USD, looking for a quick scalp on short given DXY strength. Okay, I hear that. Let me go through gold quickly. So yeah, as I said for gold, I do think we might see a bit more downside next week, but I am looking for buys because effectively, we've got a swing high up here, swing low, swing high, swing low, swing high. So we're looking for that next swing low anywhere in this radius. And as price does come back into this kind of area here, this is where I do think the buyers will step back in. So as I've mentioned, this is an area of interest for me, and also the area down here too. These are the two areas I'm looking at as nice places to buy and see some upside. So I'm kind of just waiting for confirmation and entry opportunities to take some trades. So something like this, push back into the low, then a signal, that could be a nice trade. Or if you decide to push a little bit deeper, that'll be fantastic as well. The key thing is looking for a good entry. We're already at some good areas right now, so it just depends where the market wants to move to the upside from. But the key thing is looking for a good entry, and that's what I'll be waiting for. So if we can push back down to support, fantastic. I'll see what we can do. Or if we come back to 2340, I see what we can do at that area. But yeah, these are now bullish areas for me for gold, and I would expect to move higher. I must admit the rejection there on the weekly chart, the fact that we're failing at the highs really aggressively, does make me lose a little bit of confidence about how far this gold move can go. Because especially last week's candle, we're looking so bullish at one point last week, and all that amounted to was just a big wick and a big rejection. So even if we do see upside next week, I think we'll probably just get back to resistance here. Maybe leave another wick on the weekly chart, and then we probably starts to see some rejection. I think it'll be very difficult for us to get back to that wick high and see another high. It could happen, of course, if the trend wants to continue, it will continue. There is still a lot of momentum there, so I don't think it will be too surprising to see a big breakout. But I think in terms of probability, I think there's a great chance we'll just get there, reject it, and probably see another move back down, because we're still moving within this consolidation, and we're really struggling to break out, especially after such a big rejection. I do think if we do get back there, we probably will reject it again. So yeah, for the time being, looking at buys because of the levels we're approaching. But as we come back to areas around 2420, 2450, I would start being careful and maybe managing the trade closer, because there's a good chance we come up just to come back down. So I'd watch out for that. Okay, so take a look at Euro USD quickly. Bryce, New Zealand CHF, we'll take a look at as well. Harry, what is up? Dolly and Kaji and possible pullback. Okay, we'll touch on that as well. But yeah, for Euro USD, so you're going for a quick scalp for some shorts because you're expecting some dollar strength. Yeah, I hear that as well. I think as we come closer to the areas up here, so if we were to see another big push there, I feel like that will be a nice short there for Euro USD, because as you can see, price is rejecting the high pretty well, there too. So another move up, reject the high, that could be what sends price down. Could even see maybe price even spike a little bit higher to test this level here. So this is where we had a brief consolidation on the hourly chart, and then a really nice move down. Could see price potentially spike a little bit higher to tag that. maybe one spike, second spike, third spike, and then maybe get a nice sell there. So yeah, from a seller's perspective on euro, I would say I would at least start looking for sells from 1.086 onwards. So this kind of territory here would be my bearish territory for euro. So if I'm looking to sell, I want price to push into that and then find some sells there. And of course, targeting back below the range makes a lot of sense. Again, I'm not too sure how many pips you're looking to sculpt for, but I would like some sells up here. I'm not too sure about entering trades in here. It just looks very, very complicated as to what the market wants to do next. We're holding support there pretty well. I think there's a good chance we push at least back to the high there. And then you can see what price does next. But I think if we're in this region here where we're getting these highs, that's effectively the best place for a short and trying to catch a move down. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for euro, even for a quick scalp. I mean, it's probably more of a day trade than a scalp. If you're looking for a scalp, kind of looking like 10 pips or something like that, even less. So a bit more of a day trade I'm on about there. But generally speaking, that looks like a nice place for a short to me. Okay, so New Zealand Seed Chef we'll have a look through as well. And we'll go through some yen pairs. William Oil, we'll take a look. Vendetta, okay, we'll take a look at NAS as well. Okay, so where is New Zealand Seed Chef? So yeah, this one hit the all-time low, and I think it probably created some new all-time lows as well. Yeah, just spiking through that low there, creating a new low. And again, if you go to the monthly chart, you can see that this here is a all-time low. Market has never been at these prices before. So we're very, very far down for New Zealand CHF, and it's more or less time to see a bit of retracement, especially after such two big heavy candles we've seen on the weekly, multiple on the daily there. We're still just about trading at support here. So I'm looking for some upside for New Zealand CHF. For two main reasons: heavy sell-off, big level. There's a good chance we see a reaction, and we kind of already seen that this morning. So I would say if you're looking for some buys, I would say if you can get another move back down, that would be great. See another rejection, and that's where you can be looking for your entries. Yes, it's a bit of an aggressive trade because you're trying to call the bottom essentially of the low, but you have to really nice place for a buy. If you see a nice rejection there, nice signal, and you're looking for buys, that for me would be a nice place for it because you have a fantastic place. And if you catch it right, you could really catch a nice swing there. Because look at this move here. This move is absolutely crazy. The market is really, really stretched here to the downside, hitting a big level, all-time low. There's a good chance we see a relief. So I like the buys here for New Zealand CHF. But in terms of entries, if you're not already in the trade, you kind of want price to hit that level again, just to make sure you're getting a decent entry. Stop loss underneath the low, and yeah, see what price can do. In terms of targets, probably say this low here could be a nice little first target. I'll probably keep an eye on that wick there too. There's no kind of obvious target, but these are areas where we could see price react, so they make up for good targets too. But yeah, long term, everything's still pretty bearish. So even if you do see a really nice move up, price is probably just going to form a high and come back down. But for now, this is definitely the time to be looking for buys and avoid looking for sells because we already hit a big level. Okay, so I'll go through oil, Nasdaq as well. We'll take a look at some yen pairs. Casperio, how about the DXY? Is currently hovering between bulls and bears. Was strong bullish. Okay, I'll touch upon that in a minute. Anton, 1 minute indices. You want me to take a look at the 1 minute time frame? I mean, I guess. Let me know which chart. Gold. I trust on black guys. Okay, well, good for you. Good for you. Yeah, but I will take a look at gold. Okay, no problem, Bryce. Happy to help. So yeah, we'll go through which yen pairs was it again? Dollar yen and CAD yen, and then we'll go through Nasdaq oil and gold. So yeah, with dollar yen, so dollar yen really nice move to the downside. As I said, looking for a pullback of that for some more shorts. My idea is to look to catch the next lower high. We saw a really nice swing here once, second, third. You can probably include them too. And now a really nice follow through there. We have come into a big level on dollar yen on the weekly chart. So naturally, we're probably going to see some buyers entering the chart, some sellers looking to take some profit. Hence why I've had a bit of relief there. But as we approach prices up here, I would expect another high to form, and I'll start looking for some shorts. So for dollar yen, I do want to see another move higher, and then I'll start looking for some sells. So that's the plan. CAD yen very similar as well. I think CAD yen is probably my favorite yen pair in terms of the shorts. Just how everything's set up. It's set up really, really nicely. Really nice support there. Tested it a couple of times. Humongous move to the upside there from that low. Now price is completely broken through that and done it very, very aggressively. So this here is going to be an interesting level to trade from. Again, if we can make our way to that level, that would be much appreciated. And then I'll expect price to sell off there as well. So yeah, CAD yen, I'm pretty bearish on. I'm pretty bearish on. Keep an eye on 113. Lines up more or less with the 0.618 there as well. So I'm not too sure if we'll get there. It's a pretty big retracement. Price has a good chance of selling off before we get there, but if we can, that would be fantastic. I'll be looking for some entries to take it back down, hopefully to that swing low here. But we'll see how everything sets up. So yeah, CAD yen, dollar yen, looking for some upside, then for some shorts. If we take a look at oil and then Nasdaq. Oh, that's not oil. That's oil. So oil, yeah, oil we did see a bit of upside. I was talking about some upside at this area here, but it's just very, very difficult to see where you could possibly go here for oil. I've been discussing this price action on the weekly chart with oil. In fact, they were consistently forming higher lows, but at the same time forming lower highs as well. It's difficult to interpret where the next swing will be for oil. All I can say is that, okay, as we approach areas down here, this is bullish territory. The market keeps rejecting, keeps pushing up higher. And of course, there's bearish territory. That's where the market keeps rejecting and keep falling over. So as we approach the lows here, naturally we're looking for buys. So we did come into some nice support there in the 4 hour, did see a nice rejection. Do I expect the market to kind of just launch to the upside? Possibly, but I'm not convinced just yet. I feel like we've probably got another move back lower. And then again, we can see what price does and how it reacts. And that could be a nice buy again, since this is where we held support last time. And it's fairly close to the trend line. Maybe not quite testing it, but yeah, I just don't really like the price action for oil because it doesn't really have a clear-cut trend. So I can't really say, okay, I'm expecting oil to hit this target or this target because if we had a trend, then I could say, okay, I'm targeting the swing high, but we don't really have that here. So I'm kind of just buying low and selling high in these conditions. So 76, 60, 76, 35, if you approach those areas there, naturally you would be looking for some buying opportunities. If you push back up again, then we can discuss some sells. But for now, that's kind of my outlook on oil. Okay, so we'll take a look at Nasdaq. Yes, Sudice Gaming. We just had a look at oil. In terms of Nasdaq, if you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It really does help out the stream. And of course, make sure you do hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future, because you will be notified. Okay, so yeah, for NAS 100, I was talking about this one yesterday. I said we're back in bullish territory here. Buys make sense, coming back into the high there, or potentially the high there. These areas make sense for buys. So if you're looking at NAS at the moment, buys around 18,900 or 18,500, 400 do look good, and targets, coming back into this low makes a lot of sense there as well. And this would look like a nice place for a sell too. So if you're bearish on NAS, I would be looking at sells around 19,500. If you're bullish, looking for buys in this area. Again, if you're already in the trade, fantastic. If you're not, you kind of want price to push back down again to find yourself a nice little entry there. Closer to the low here, stop loss underneath the low there. See what we can do. If we come a little bit lower, then we do have a level a little bit lower as well. But generally speaking, looking at more upside there for NAS 100. Still very bullish market for me in the higher time frames. Now we're coming back to retest some structure we didn't retest previously. So I like the setup for NAS, but the sells up here still look good. So should we get there, especially if we move quite correctively, that to me looks like a nice place for a short to ride it back down again. Yeah, weekly had a really big rejection a couple of weeks ago, and we're kind of seeing the aftermath of that. But as we approach these areas, this is where the buyers are looking to step back into the market, so naturally expecting to see some bullish reactions. But if we get back there again, I still like the sells. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with NAS. We'll take a look at some other indices later on, but I'll go take a look at gold next. Maybe gold buy if we'll take profit to 383. What do you think? Okay. Okay, so that mean you're in a gold buy already? Let me just move some of my drawings. Okay, no problem, William. Have a good one, my man. Have a good weekend, and I'll catch you on Monday. Okay, so yeah, for gold, so for gold, I am looking for upside from one of these two levels here. So 2360 or 2340. Those are the areas I'm looking for buys from. Your take profit is 2383. Okay, so not too far away already. Around there-ish. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. Which time frames are you working on? Because it looks pretty good on the 30-minute. I like how prices move down, pretty strong move up there. Retest some structure here. Could see some follow through, back to that high, which is around 2083. So yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. What's up, Malik? Welcome to the stream. Okay, 15 minute. So yeah, I mean, I like the setup. Really nice momentum there. This is like a correction of that. So I would expect to see price impulse back up again. Maybe we might push down one more time before that move up, because this move here is pretty corrective. This move there is pretty corrective. So we could push down one more time and then have a bigger move up. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do that. But yeah, I think a push to 2383 looks very reasonable. Back to the high here. We got some news this afternoon, so maybe that could help, get the ball rolling a little bit. But yeah, I like it. I definitely like it. This for me is bullish territory, so I would be looking for buys there anyway. But yeah, for me, I'm looking for price push back to the low again, or this low here before I start looking for entries. Again, I'm still looking for entries on the hourly chart, but since you've already had a bit of a move up, I need price to push back to the low before I do take any entries, or come and test some new support. Then I'll see what I can do. But yeah. But I'm still going to keep a close eye on gold because I really like the price action on the higher time frames. But I've got a feeling we probably do have another move down in us first. So I'm going to keep a close eye for that. But yeah, a lot of my a lot of my interest for next week is just waiting for a lot of corrections on quite a few pairs. So looking at yen pairs having a pullback, and then looking to short it, CAD yen especially. Let me see how the weekly candles close for some of these yen pairs. So yeah, pretty big. Again, this wick here, that price is leaving there, gives me the feeling that price has got a good chance to push back up. Next week, at least see a wick, and then we might see some downsides shortly after. And we've kind of done that for pound yen as well, New Zealand yen a little bit, Euro yen, quite a big wick there, Aussie yen, dollar yen, Swiss yen. So yeah, that wick does tell me that we could probably see some upside next week. Hey, what's up, Yadish? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. It has been a while. Hope everything is well with you. As always, anything you're looking at, feel free to let us know. What is up? Tetelestai Media. Hopefully I said that correctly. Probably didn't, but welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Check me EuroCAD. Okay, you trading EuroCAD? Let me know your bias with that one, what you're looking to do with it. But yeah, some of the wicks there for the yen pairs do give me the feeling that we probably will see some upside next week. But again, still looking for the short. So the fact that we are seeing some upside, or have a good chance of seeing some upside, is good. Very, very good. Okay, so Euro Canadian. So yeah, EuroCAD very bullish this week, and we've really flown to the other side. We're coming back to some big levels now. So yeah, for me, this have we broke through that trend line? Yeah, sort of. So yeah, this looks like a big breakout to me, actually. If that's the case, we could be coming back to the swing height there, 1.51. Looking for reversal sell. So yeah, it has come back to a nice level, but my only conundrum is that we've broken out of this kind of triangular wedge pennant pattern, which normally means if we do get a breakout, we normally do come back to the previous swing high at the start, or the previous swing low down here if we broke down. But yes, we are coming back into a big level. As we can see previously, big reaction here, big move down, we're back there again, and we're pretty corrective as well. So although, yes, we're at a nice level, I think we probably will see some downside. I think it would just be a correction for price to continue higher. So if you're looking for some shorts, I think a nice move up back to the high would be nice, and then try and find some shorts down the double top, because we're kind of moving in this ascending channel here. Price is running out a bit of steam. So another push back to the high, for another push back to the low, and maybe even a bigger push, depending on the risk reward, depending on what you're looking for. But I think generally speaking, this is a nice place for a short. But yeah, I would wait for another push high, because there'll be a lot of kind of traders getting caught on the wrong side in this area here. So I would avoid getting involved there. But if you can push back to the extreme, back to the high there, that's naturally going to be a nice place for a short. Look for your entries, stop loss above the high. And then, yeah, you're looking to try and catch a swing back to the downside. So I do like it. But as I said on the daily chart, because it looks like we're having a big breakout, I'll be expecting price to do something like this and continue higher. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for EuroCAD. But yeah, it's a nice place for a reversal sell. You don't want to be looking to buy there anyway. So the only reasonable trade opportunity there would be a sell if you're looking for a swing anyway. I'm sure we can probably get away for some buys on the lower time frames, but we're coming to a big, big level as we can see. So sells definitely make the most sense. Okay, looking at Euro long and UJ long. Okay. Are those trades you're currently in, or you're looking to get involved with them? UJ daily long looking good. Yes, I must admit that, to be honest, because of the level we came into. So this is like a big daily / weekly level, and price did come back to retest that. So yeah, I mean, I'm still pretty bearish on dollar yen. So I'm looking at sells on the 4 hour / hourly time frame if we do see a bit of a pullback. But yes, you're right. We're seeing some rejection there. We'll see how today closes, because today's still a small kind of bullish candle. But if it does close as a strong morning star, that could be a nice buy signal. I'm still going to be looking at sells on the lower time frames at this area. So that would be my idea. But yeah, if we do start breaking through that, possibly it could be the next higher low for UJ. It could be the next higher low. Coming back to retest that structure there. That could be the next high low. So it's definitely a very, very nice place for a swing. It makes a lot of sense for it. I think it just depends on the 4 hour how it reacts, and if it can start taking out some highs. If it can do that, then yeah, we're on our way. But if we kind of move up correctively, I will be looking for some shorts around there. But I do like that level in the high time frames. We have reacted pretty well. In terms of Euro USD, okay, you're already in UJ. Are you in Euro USD as well? In terms of Euro USD, this one's a little bit more difficult. It's kind of a little bit more sideways. Price action hasn't been moving very, very nice for Euro USD. It's kind of awkward. As I've been saying, I do think we've got a good chance to break higher. Okay, no. So yeah, I do think we've got a good chance to break higher for Euro, but it's just a bit more awkward to trade because if you look at the conditions here, what is Euro USD trying to do? We've had this nice bearish descending channel for a while. It looked like price was breaking out of that, but maybe it's just a big fake out potentially. If that is the case, then do we have the possibility to see a swing like that? Very much so. At the same time, if we quickly recover that, this could just be a big retest for price to push up. So that's why I'm kind of torn with Euro USD. DXY actually looks a little bit more clearer to me because we're at support there as well, even though we're kind of broken through a trend line there too. But at least we're still hanging on to that support. So I would fancy another move higher. Therefore, I do think Euro can fall. But if we do kind of break out of the consolidation, something like this, then the buys will look good to me. So that's kind of the only way I would be interested in the buys with Euro. Pound looks a lot cleaner to me, so that's kind of where my focus is in terms of the dollar. If we can push down, that'd be really nice. And I'll start looking for some entries. Euro USD, for me to start looking for some bullish entries, I need price to break higher, something like that, and then I'll look for pullbacks. So yeah. And then maybe a swing back to the high. So yeah, something like that would interest me for some buys. Otherwise, it's difficult to say what price wants to do next, especially in that consolidation. Okay, so you're looking at 1.076 level. Where is that? 0.76. Okay, that's around there. Okay, daily idea. So yeah, that's a bit more healthy. That's a bit more healthy because we had a really nice correction after that. And as I said, if DXY makes the move I'm looking for, not necessarily that big, but a move higher, then that could take Euro down with it. And then possibly we could see another higher low in respect to these lows here, one over there, a second over there. Could be seeing a third over there as well. So that makes sense to me there for euro. Is our impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. So I like that. I like that a lot. Because yeah, I was going to say, because of course dollar yen and euro USD are mainly inverse correlated, but I don't know, sometimes the correlation doesn't really play out too well with them, especially when yen does its thing, because then yeah, yen's the main driving factor in UJ really, rather than dollar at this point in time anyway. So yeah, it's not the end of the world long in euro USD and long in dollar yen, especially at this time anyway, because the correlation isn't really performing. And the CHF looking for buy. I'm looking for the retest. Okay. DXY heading back to 105.500 trying for some YOLO euro sales. You only live once, euro USD sells. Yeah, I mean, go for it, Casperia. Just do on a demo account, mate, and risk the whole account. But yeah, it's difficult because Euro USD and DXY are just consolidating. So although yes, I do think DXY can make a move to 104.500, I do think Euro can take a dive. But it's just like, okay, what are we doing in that consolidation? We could potentially break higher first before we do move lower. So it's difficult to find a good entry to actually trade that bias. Maybe if we do break lower and we flip on a retest, that could be a nice short there intraday. But otherwise, it's kind of difficult to short euro with a decent trade. But yeah, with New Zealand CHF, yeah, I said some buys look good because of where we're trading. We're back at all-time low support, and we created a new all-time low whilst we're at it as well. So naturally, this is going to be a nice place for a buy. But the ship has kind of already settled a little bit. As you can see, you've already had a move higher. So as I said earlier in the stream, if we can move back down again, come back to retest support, then potentially we could see some buys. My connection is bugging again. Okay. Let me have a look under the hood. Okay. Yeah, the internet isn't great here. I don't know. Change from BT to Sky. Maybe that was the wrong decision. But yeah, the internet isn't great. But yeah, I mean, I think maybe for next week could be looking at plugging the router to the computer. But there's not much I can do now. So yeah, apologies for the internet connections, ladies and gentlemen. Shorts coming soon on pound NZD. Okay, we'll discuss that. I mean, it's had a really, really big move higher. So I do think shorts for pound NZD is 100% on the cards, and we're likely going to see move down at some point. It's just very difficult because it keeps moving higher. But I think we had a bit of a reaction, so we'll touch on that. Okay, all good now. Okay, good. Hopefully it can last till the end of the stream at least. Yes, I did take a couple trades this week. I took one trade on pound USD, which was a break even. I took a loss on gold yesterday. So yeah, I had a trade on GU over here. Stop loss underneath the low. Caught a nice move higher. Went to break even because the idea of the trade was I'm looking for price to break the resistance here to then start to trail, because the idea is I'm looking for a big impulse correction, another impulse back to the high. So I took a buy there, and then as soon as we got back to the high, I went to break even. But then, yeah, price did come and take me out of the trade, so I didn't walk away with much there. Well, much. I didn't walk away with anything. It was break even. And then the second trade I took this week was a gold long, which did stop me out for a loss. Entry was on the candle here, and stop loss was underneath that low. But this one failed right away. As soon as I entered the trade, it just went right down. So yeah, those are the two trades I took this week. There was another trade I was eyeing up. I decided not to take it. And there was a trade on which pair was it? Completely forgot. There was another trade there, but it was outside of my hours, so I didn't end up taking it. But I took those two trades this week. You trade all day because I saw you in Nick's channel yesterday. I didn't trade all day. Again, streaming is different from trading. Streaming is different from trading because, again, my trading hours are from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and I take trades on the hourly candle close. So every time I get a candle close between those hours, I look at the charts or look at my watch list anyway to see if I do get any possible entries, and if I do, I'll take the trade. Yeah, when I'm streaming, it's, chatting to you guys, going through my other markets. I'm not exclusively looking to trade. I already know what I'm looking to trade. I already know my watch list. I already know where I want to buy and sell. So it's not like I'm doing more analysis here. Yes, I'm doing quite a lot of analysis, but in terms of the markets I'm looking to trade, the analysis has already been done. And same with on Nick's channel, we're just discussing markets really. I'm not trading, I'm just kind of reporting. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, pound NSD, I have not forgot. We'll take a look. No new trade more. I took two trades this week, one break even, one loss. Pound USD and a gold trade. Okay, also trade the gold, but a bit lower. Yeah, I mean, gold came into a really nice place, I was watching it a lot during the stream, had a really nice rejection. So I entered the trade, but it didn't want to play ball, unfortunately. And again, not every trade is going to play ball either, so there's no love lost. All I know is I did the right thing in terms of following my plan and waiting for a good entry. It ticked all the boxes, so I got involved. Fortunately, it just wasn't a trade that was going to be a winner. And pound USD, although that trade started off really nicely and there was some nice momentum, price just wanted to have a bigger pullback. It didn't hold this level, and it went against me. On another day, in an alternate universe, price had its move, and I would have trailed, but it was not to be. The important thing is that you're taking the right trades and your execution is good. If your execution is good, you're taking the right trades, you're following your plan, then that's all you can do at the end of the day. And of course, you've got to do that in mind, knowing that you have an edge and know that that edge is tried and tested. Because it's very, very easy to say, follow your plan, do the right things. But if your plan isn't tried and tested and you don't even know if it's profitable, then why would you look to follow the plan? So you've got to put it through the test, back test it, forward test it. And that gives you confidence to see out the losing trades, the break-even trades, and allows you to push on. Went straight to the stop loss. Yeah, join the club, Yedish. Join the club. Benji, you too as well. Yeah. Again, some trades will do that. Some trades will, to be fair, I prefer that happens, to be honest, than the trades that take its time. Because I've been in some trades where it just kind of fluctuates between a bit of profit, a bit of loss around my entry, and then eventually does stop me out. And that might last like 2 days. So it's like, I'm just waiting 2 days just to get stopped out. I might as well get stopped out quickly, be done with it and move on to the next trade, rather than have to just watch that trade just fluctuate. And especially when you hold it overnight as well, you got swap cost as well. So you're paying to hold a losing trade, which which isn't particularly great as well. So yeah, I'd rather get stopped out quickly if I'm going to get stopped out. Pound NZD. So yeah, pound NZD. Look at that price action. Beautiful move higher. So yeah, we are at some prices where I do think it's time to take a dive. Time to see some downside, especially after taking that COVID wick out. So that COVID wick was March 2020, and now we've taken out that wick high. So I do think now the bigger move will be down for pound NZD. It's all about timing and being patient. Because as I said yesterday, this could still move another 200 pips higher if it wants to. There's a lot of momentum right now, and it could keep pushing. But when it starts to show signs of reversal, start to show signs that it might be looking to reverse, that's when you want to pounce, because the market is really stretched right now. It's taken out some key highs. A lot of liquidity would have been taken out for pound NZD. So I think sales look good. It's just being a little bit careful. Looking at the hourly chart, still very corrective. I think we can probably maybe see some downside, but I think we probably will still see a bigger push higher. This move here is quite corrective. So again, there's no need to rush it either. Because if we are going to have that big sell-off, it's going to be a very big sell-off. So we don't have to catch it right at the top either. But I feel like we're slowing down. And then maybe when we see some signs of reversal, we could be looking to take some entries somewhere. Something like that. So yeah, that's what I'll be looking at for pound NZ. But yes, it's a nice place for a sell, and so are quite a few markets that have had really big moves, but nothing yet. It was red week. Yes, that's correct. More. A lot of markets did take some dives this week. Yen pairs, CHF pairs, dollar a little bit. Yeah, dollar did take some dive. Maybe not as big as CHF or yen, but it did take some beating this week as well. No, I'm not in any trades at the moment. Praga saw just the break even early on pound and the loss on gold. Those are my two positions for the week. Nothing really setting up now at the moment either. I've got a few pairs on the watch list, but it's mainly for next week. I mean, I am looking at pound. That's the closest one, and maybe gold as well. I'm looking at pound buys, but I need that one to sell off one more time before I consider looking to buy. Because this to me still looks like a correction. So what I want to see is an awful drawing. Let me just use the actual tool for it. So yeah, that still looks like a correction to me. So I want to see another move down first, and then I'll look for some buys because it's still trading at some really nice levels of support where I can look to buy from, because I'm essentially looking for the pullback of this swing here. So yeah, looking for another move down. Hope we find some buys later on. And then gold as well. Still looking for some buys there too. But yeah, I need this one to push down so I can get a stop loss near the low, and then we can see what we can do afterwards. So those are the only two that are close for some entries, but even then, they're not really that close. So yeah, I'll wait and see how we move. We do have a bit of news this afternoon as well, so maybe that could speed things up. We'll have to see. I'm looking at a lot of shorts on the yen pairs, CAD yen, Euro yen, dollar yen. So I need them to keep pushing up next week. CAD yen a little bit more upside, dollar yen a little bit more upside, even pound yen as well a little bit more upside. Look to short. Some of the CHF pairs look good. CAD CHF, if that pulls back, I will be interested in the sell. Euro CHF, if that pulls back, I'll be interested in the sell as well. So a lot of these pairs are trades for next week because there's very little chance we see that pullback this week. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at in terms of my watch list and trades. But it's been an okay week. Obviously, I haven't had a winner, but in terms of the trade that I've taken, I'm happy with them. There's no like emotional decision, or I did something that I shouldn't have done. So I'm happy with that. Into NAS. Okay, you're looking to take NAS 100 more. See, when you're doing like the long term, but yeah, and a crazy candle on pound NZD Casperio. But when you're taking like long term buys on like pound NZD, when you take long term buys on like NAS 100, you're relatively safe because the market just always goes up. If I go to the quarterly time frame, so each candle represents 3 months. I mean, this only goes back to 2018. I mean, can I go back a little bit further? 2019. Can't remember which. Okay, that's 2014. There's a market that goes right back to like a long time ago. But yeah, you can see it generally just moves up. So when you're buying markets like the indices, it's just a lot safer because, you know, eventually we will put in that higher low. Of course, how far we'll pull back, we might just have a little pullback like this and push on, or we could have a massive pullback like that potentially. So the timing is the next question because you might buy here and you're like, okay, I expect price to continue back to the high because that's what it always does. But then again, you could be in that much drawdown. So if you're going to buy and forget and not care about the position, and you're happy to take all of that drawdown even more, then of course you're good. But even then, it's not a great entry. So the risk reward ain't great. But if you do have a big crash like this and you look for your buying entries, then you're into really, really nice trades that you can kind of just set and forget. But yeah, I think NAS is having a bit of a correction, so buys make sense. At the same time, I would be a bit worried about these areas. Same for like S&P as well. In fact, S&P, I'd like this one to fall a little bit further and see what we can do down here. Yeah, monthly charts looking very bullish. Weekly, yeah, seeing some downside, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. All looks pretty straightforward to me. Just another correction as expected. We've been very bullish on the indices, so correction is overdue. But yeah, you're definitely right. A lot of markets have been down this week. Indices are down, commodities are down, Forex, well, majors are down a little bit, but then you've got EM pairs, Swiss down as well. So across the board, a lot of markets are down. I haven't really looked at stocks, but in general, a lot of markets are down this week, even oil. So yeah, if you were selling this week, you probably had a good week. I mean, not every market went down because pound NZD and pound Aussie, they flew. So if you were selling them, probably not so much. But in general, we did see a lot of downside. And again, both my position were buys, unfortunately. Buys in pound USD and buys in gold. Damn, NZD had a big move. I was talking about some buys around here, but they just never materialized. And yeah, price broke through that pretty aggressively. So what's the next move for NZD CAD? It's been a difficult pair to analyze. I haven't traded it in a while. Are we just continuing this overall bearish trend? Possibly. That would mean coming back to the low here. We've got a really big level of support there, which kind of looks prices holding the resistance. So yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised for this move here. but it just hasn't been moving clean. But yeah, maybe that's like a big correction, wicking at the high there. And now I kind of see some follow through of that. Possibly, but yeah, it's difficult. Same with Aussie CAD as well. I have no idea what this pair is doing. But I think that's mainly due to Aussie weakness, New Zealand weakness as well. Because if you look at Euro CAD and Pound CAD, they're actually very bullish and had some big breakouts. But of course, that weakness won't last forever. In fact, I think we'll probably see some upside for the rest of the week and probably into next week as well. So yeah, I mean, in terms of my watches going into next week, as I said, a couple yen pairs, specifically CAD yen and dollar yen look the best, but I'll keep an eye on some others because things can come and go. But CAD yen, dollar yen look the best to me in terms of some pullbacks and some shorts. So that's kind of where my focus will be with yen. In terms of dollar, I mean, dollar, I haven't really even made up my mind with my bias. I mean, I know I'm expecting a move up high there, but I'm not necessarily expecting price to continue like that. It could just be a high, then we push back down. So yeah, dollar, the price action has been horrible for dollar anyway. Because what is this? What is this? That's horrendous stuff. So yeah, I'm expecting a move higher, but yeah, I don't really have like a longer term view. I'm kind of just playing dollar by the week because that's the only thing that makes sense to me. So next week, expecting upside for dollar. So downside for the dollar pairs, so pound USD. Even though I'm looking to buy this one, I feel like we could probably drop lower. Euro, I feel like that one can probably drop low as well, and it makes sense to as well. You know, back to some areas down there, and there we can form a higher low to push on. Aussie dollar, expecting a correction, but again, I do think we can push lower. New Zealand dollar, expecting a correction, but again, I do think we can push lower. USD CAD back at the high. This one a bit awkward because we're at major resistance, but I'm looking for more dollar strength. I mean, CAD will play a big role as well. But I think if you're looking to trade dollar CAD now, it makes more sense to be looking for some sells. And yeah, silver. Silver, I'm looking for some short-term sells if we're to come up here. And gold, I'm actually looking for buys. So there's a lot of contradiction between the dollar pairs, I must admit. My best bet, the cleanest trades for me will be the yen or the CHF. Yeah, that will be the cleanest because there's momentum there. The direction's clear for me, at least, anyway. Still, the yen pairs, again, trajectory may still just be up for them on the higher time frames, like weekly, monthly bias. But I'm happy to look for some short counter trend sells in the meantime. So the yen pairs look good to me. CHF pairs look good to me as well. CAD CHF, Euro CHF, Aussie CHF. So those will be my preferred opportunities. I'll keep an eye on dollar because I do like trading dollar, and dollar crosses are my best performing market as well. So I always keep an eye on dollar pairs, but I must admit the price action isn't great. Do I trade GJ? Yes, I do. I trade all Forex majors, all Forex minors, silver and gold too. But yeah, for GJ as well, I'll be looking at sells too. Something like that. Pullback, low high, and a move down, and then we discuss what we can do next after. Because again, similar to the other yen pairs, GJ's trajectory is still very much up, but it just depends how far we're going to pull back. I mean, we could actually really tank for GJ. Let's not forget that. We could actually tank because if you look at previous price action, and this is the monthly chart, big spike, massive drop, one spike, second spike, massive drop after we took out this high here. Kind of doing the same thing again, big drop, one spike, second spike after we took up the high. Is this time to see a big move down? Could be. Could be. I think that's a realistic move to expect. I mean, it makes sense. And we're at an area where it makes sense to fall over as well and possibly see another lower high. So maybe the trends are about to reverse. Again, we don't know until it happens. As traders, you just got to speculate, look for opportunities, and trade those opportunities. Whether we trend up or trend down isn't the most important important thing, because as traders we can make money in both directions. So all we need to do is stay patient, wait for a good opportunity, and pounce. But for now, anyway, looking at pullback and some downside. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at for GJ. Casperia, DXY correlation with gold. Correlation is strong with EUG. Yeah, absolutely, that's the case. Again, with the DXY, again, DXY doesn't just represent USD. DXY is USD against a basket of other currencies. So it'll be USD against Euro, USD against Pound, USD against Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. I don't know the exact amount of currencies in the basket and which particular ones, but I know Euro is definitely in there. And Euro, I think, has the most weighting as well, which is why Euro USD and DXY look so similar and behave so similar. And the inverse correlation is very, very, very strong, because I think Euro's got the most weighting and I think Pound's got the second most weighting as well. But yeah, the DXY doesn't include gold. It doesn't include gold. So that's why you'll see sometimes where DXY is very bullish against other currencies, but not particularly gold, because gold is just more bullish. So yes, you can look at DXY in terms of a correlation between gold as well. You know, on average, if DXY is up, gold is down, and on average, if DXY is down, gold is up. But during times of like crisis, you know, gold is just the more popular thing to buy. So it's going to be stronger than USD. But yeah, just because DXY is moving up doesn't mean it should be moving up against gold, because it doesn't include gold in the basket. But you're 100% right. There are many times where DXY moves up and gold moves up too. And that's particularly times when fundamentally the world is in a bit of a fear state, you know, during times of war or like the pandemic as well. Hey, what's up, Anis? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are well. Euro entity, monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hour. Okay. Gold, we'll take a look too. So yeah, with Euro entity, haven't actually really looked at this pair yet. So yeah, it's not looking particularly great on the monthly, I must admit. Horrendous stuff, I must say. But there is a big high up here, which looks like we're slowly working our way towards. So 1.85186 is definitely somewhere I would keep consideration, because once we push into that, this is now bearish territory for me, where I think we can have a big sell-off, because this spike, I'm pretty sure, was COVID. Yeah, March 2020. So this is our kind of COVID territory, which it looks like we're coming back into. So predominantly speaking, this is where it could look good to sell. But at the moment, what I'm seeing is this bullish trend here is just still at play. And we're seeing a big continuation of that this month. Drop into the weekly, momentum looks really good. We're coming back into a high there as well. So yeah, I think once we start pushing into this area, probably going to see that momentum fizzle out a little bit and then a move down. But yeah, we are approaching resistance now. So again, you're not really looking at buys now, are you? After such a big move into such a big level. If you're in the buys, fantastic. If you're not in the buys, then now's not the best time to be doing it. But you know, because the market's quite stretched, we're coming to big areas. Shorts are the favorable opportunity to be looking for. And I think it's just a game of patience. I think what you want to be seeing at least is the market, respecting highs before looking to take some shorts, and even better if you can break some structure and then try and plot some sells afterwards. And again, even then being a bit cautious because it could just be a retracement for price to kick on later on. So be careful of that. But yeah, because USD is so stretched, it's coming to such a big level, I do think we can just see a bit of retracement. We have put a nice rejection there in the 4 hour, but again, when we're seeing such bullish conditions, these candlestick patterns have less and less meaning because the market is just so bullish. So these bearish candles you do see kind of just retracements on the lower time frames for price to kick on. So what I do want to see is structure showing me that, okay, the market's slowing down, and that could be in the form of double tops, breaker structures, just something telling me that we're about to form a high. But we are in a good place for sales. So sales is what I would be looking for if I was looking to trade it. If I'm looking at buys, then I want to see a pullback at least back to some of the highs here. And then I can start discussing some pullbacks for some longs, but at the moment, we're nowhere near that area. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Euro NZD. And again, in terms of gold, from a top-down perspective as well, it'll be interesting to see how this monthly candle does close. I must admit, because we're seeing a lot of wicks now in the monthly chart, which is not good for gold, at least gold bulls anyway. Because we saw a lovely breakout at the start of the year, clearing this resistance. Now it looks like price is just running out a bit of steam. You can see in April, big wick there. May, big wick there as well. June, doji. And now again, July, we're forming another big wick. We still do have another week left of price action. That wick could easily be filled, or it could easily be, this kind of could even close bearish. But I must say, the wicks there is a bit of a red flag. It does mean price is slowing down and struggling to push higher. And we can see that on the weekly chart illustrated a little bit further with all these wicks here. And the fact is we're just failing to break through the resistance. So what I'm looking for gold is more downside. I'm still looking for buys down here, but it just might mean we don't go and create new highs. We may push back up, but we may just come back to the level to reject it. And then we might roll back down because effectively we are just ranging here. So it's up to gold to choose which way it wants to break out. And what I can say is that we've tried to break out higher. We've tried to continue the trend. We've tried to break out to the upside, but we failed pretty miserably. So now I would expect to see a bigger move back down to the low, and we can see what price does over there. So yeah, from a top-down perspective, what I can say is that price is struggling to go higher. So although, yes, we're coming to some nice bullish territories down here, where buys make a lot of sense. Even this area down here as well. So buys do make sense as we approach these levels, but I think even if you do push up, price will probably start to struggle around here, and we may sell off again. So yeah, that's kind of my thought process with gold. You can see these big highs here. Every time the market creates a new high, we fall over, new high, we fall over. Not really good signs there of price of a healthy uptrend. So yeah, gold, I think we can catch some nice buys at these areas, still looking to buy. But my worry is when we get back to 24.20, 24.30, you might come straight back down. I appreciate that more. Hope you enjoy your weekend as well. How do you know the weekend? How do you know the UK is seeing some decent weather? How do you know the weekend? How do you know the UK is seeing some good weather? I mean, the weather's been okay. It was really good like last week and maybe the week before that as well. Um, but yeah, kind of averaging around, I'd say between 20 and 25. Maybe 1 or 2 days we peak above that. Maybe 1 or 2 days we touch 30. But in general, kind of between 20 and 25 degrees, which is hallelujah, which is beautiful stuff for the UK, I must admit. But we do have a bit of rain dotted here and there and some cloudy skies, but it's okay. It's better than last summer. Last summer wasn't even summer. It was just kind of prolonged spring, really. But yeah, weather has got better. But yeah, take care and have a good weekend. But yeah, for me, I'll be seeing how these weekly candles close. As I said, I don't think there's any pairs that are looking primed up for me to trade uh, today. Oh, okay, you got uncle there, but he lives in the city. What in London City, in the centre? But yeah, it is. It's looking okay. It's not good weather. Good weather for me is like 25, 30. It's okay weather. 20 to 25. It's respectable. So yeah, with pound, we'll look for another drive lower. But yeah, it's a bit awkward because I'm actually looking for upside in dollar. So my pound USD position kind of contradicts my DXY bias. But we'll see how things pan out because everything's got set up and stuff like that. Things could change very quickly, and I always try to stay flexible as well. I have my bias, I have the trades I'm looking to take, but if things change, I'm very quick to change with it. I'm not stubborn with a bias, especially in the world of FX where things and direction changes quite quickly. It's not like indices where, okay, we're generally just bullish all the time. So, looking for pullbacks. If we take shorts at short term, FX, you got to stay on your toes. Five business days just to move 10 pips. Yeah, it does have its moments where it does take forever. That's why some people don't like Euro USD because it doesn't move very quickly. That's why gold is very popular. Even pound USD is a bit more popular than, actually, I don't know. Euro's more traded, but I think in the social media world, I think even pound USD can be a bit more popular sometimes. But definitely like gold or like pound yen. But I like euro because it's sensible. It doesn't do anything too crazy. Price action is generally kind of the tidiest in general. Most liquid market as well. So I like euro. Best spreads. But yeah, it does move slow sometimes. Such a fancy guy, always wears suits. Yeah, that's his style. That's his style. I like a good polo. Not really a suit type of guy. Tony Gold, Wickfill on which wiki you talking about and which time frame? And free suits I wear them maybe 10 times. Yeah, I mean, yeah, where you're from is pretty hot over there, so wearing a suit might be a bit difficult. At least in the UK, you can get away with a suit because that blazer be keeping you warm. But yeah, I can't imagine anything worse wearing a suit in like 35, 40 degrees. That does not sound like a good idea to me at all. Let me quickly have a check because I'm pretty sure we have news after PC as well. Oh, that's the wrong day. Okay, so yeah, 1:30 PCE, and then yeah, 3 o'clock Michigan consumer sentiment. Yeah, I'm not really too worried about that one. I think the PC might see a little bit of movement there. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, generally speaking, I'm kind of eyeing up next week now. Next week we have NFP, do we? Quite a lot of news next week. I'm just scrolling through it now. A lot of Aussie news, JPY news. Oh, pound interest rate decision. Rates expected to cut. And then Friday NFP. So yeah, a lot of news next week. This week has been pretty quiet to be honest, but next week it's starting to heat up again, which is good. I like the fire. Um, 2-day euro long, more dynamic. Okay, not a bad way to look at it. I mean, not always the best reason to close a trade just so you can end in profit, but at the end of the day, the reason you trade is to make profit. So I can't really knock it. Um, but of course, manage your account how you see fit, and yeah, potentially the news could go for you or against you as well. So closing before news isn't the worst idea in the world. So I can definitely attest to that. I mean, I normally hold my positions through news anyway. Is anyone else going to be holding any trades over the weekend? I mean, we've seen a lot of gaps over the weekend the past few weeks. Again, the climate is a little bit dodgy. So we are seeing kind of unexpected moves, gaps, pretty big gaps as well. Don't normally see big gaps in FX, but we have seen some as of late. Like I said, I don't think I'll be holding any trades over the weekend unless I take a trade today, which I don't think is likely. Okay, you're holding a Aussie CAD long. Okay, yeah, Aussie CAD has come back to a nice little area. To be honest, this high over here, pretty nice move there too. So yeah, what's your target with that one, Pragasol? What's your target with this one? Such a big move there. But I think it's time we do see a bit of Aussie strength coming back into the market. All right. You get your beauty nap then, more. Take care. We'll see you Monday. Have a nice weekend as well. But yeah, how far are you looking to hold that trade in Aussie CAD? But yeah, it has come back to a pretty nice area. But I think in terms of just Aussie itself, strength is likely to come in Aussie dollar as well, Aussie yen too. Okay, 0.918. 918, 918. Okay, so looking for a pretty big move there. That's more or less this area here. I mean, if that high time frame bullish kind of trend was to continue, then that is a very reasonable move. So this, not a bad move. Not a bad move at all. My only worry is that we had a pretty big sell-off. It's almost too aggressive. I really like my corrective pullbacks. So that would be the only thing that would concern me. But otherwise, where you're buying from, that's a good area. Higher time frames look pretty bullish as well. Pullback's pretty healthy too, in terms of the distance and where I've come into. So yeah, there's a lot of confidence that I do like. But the only thing I don't like is just how hard we fell. That's the only thing I won't like. But yeah, it's a nice rejection. Okay, entry in the 4-hour candle. So I assume maybe this one. Or maybe that one. But yeah, nonetheless, it's a nice rejection. So I like it. I like the position we're in. I assume a stop loss underneath that lower there as well. So yeah, hopefully we would see. I'm not too sure what the interest rate differential is on that. So I'm not too sure about the swap. But yeah, I like the position that we're in for that one. But yeah, looking at Aussie dollar, Aussie yen, I think we're likely going to see those Aussie pairs push up. But yeah, as soon as we start coming back to this area though, I will be looking for some shorts. So yeah, for me, the yen pairs and the Swiss pairs look the best. So that's where my focus will be next week. But I'll see how the weekly candle closes, see how we react to the news. And of course, I'll do my analysis as always on the weekend, recap everything, talk about my trades, and of course, what I'm looking at for the following week as well. But guys, we are coming up to the end of the stream. If you guys have found it useful, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And of course, hit the bell so you don't miss out any streams or uploads in the future because you will be notified. Also, check out the Discord channel for Elevating Traders. It's completely free to join. Make sure you go join that for potential discount opportunities when we do launch. And of course, to discuss, connect with other traders. I'm there myself, share trades, opportunities, discuss. So if you're not a part of that, make sure you go check it out. Link to that is in the chat somewhere. Actually, did I put that link out? I don't think I even did. Horrendous for me. 1 second. Okay, there. So yeah, go check out the Discord if you haven't done so already. It is in the link in the message I just sent. But guys, thank you so much for coming to the stream. Yeah, a lot of news going on next week, so it will be very interesting. But I like it. I like it because it means the market's moving. You just have to be careful with it. You know, don't abuse it. But guys, thank you so much for coming to the stream. Really do appreciate that. Hope everyone does have a great day, fantastic weekend, and I'll catch you all in the next one.